Tomorrow is my 40th birthday. So I've been thinking a lot about this and sort of what I've done, what have I accomplished, am I happy with where I am at almost 40? And it's been a kind of melancholic. Now, typically around my birthdays, I celebrate and take a big vacation, go scuba diving. That's what I love to do. But this year's different. I just bought my first house and I'm in the process of I'm starting the adoption process. And so I've got a lot. I'm taking my classes this month, so I couldn't travel. And so this year looks really different than every other year of my life. And I suppose that's good, right? You want every year to be different. Hopefully you want every year to be better. But so what I've been thinking a lot about this week is as I go through the process of adopting a child out of the foster, out of social services. My mom's been going to the classes with me. I mean, we've only done one, but the second one's tonight. But it's had me thinking so much about my upbringing. And sure, my parents were not perfect, and I'm sure I have some kind of childhood trauma that, we all have to deal with. Like, I always joke and say adulthood is learning how to get over childhood. But my parents were there for me, and there for me in the best way that they could be. And as I think about adopting a child who has lost their parents, who've lost their connection to family, their ability for someone to take care of them, it just has me thinking a lot about the work that I do, right? My work is focused on serving the marginalized and minoritized, traditionally excluded people, mostly within science, technology, engineering, and math fields and pathways. But when I think about the pathways and the trajectories that the children in the system have faced, right? Through no fault of their own, they've faced the most remarkable childhood traumas that most of us could never understand or fathom. And I think about all of the work that I'm going to get to do with my future child. And again, I'm several months from getting a child. But I think about how much growth I've had personally and understanding systems of oppression and understanding the barriers that people have faced. And largely that growth is a function of my PhD and my dissertation work and research, and continuing to study this over the last decade or so. And I think it's certainly equipped me to hopefully be a good mom for the child or children that I get to have. But it just reminds me how important this work is, right? One, we think about how much responsibility I have as an educator, as a human, as a professional to create, to facilitate equitable and inclusive environments for people around me. I take that as my responsibility. Like, nobody's told me I had to do that, but I feel like, hey, it's the right thing to do. It's the right human thing to do. And my privilege that I get to teach others how to do this and to find their own journeys to social consciousness and social awakening. And so much of the barriers that people face, so many of the barriers that we experience in our relationships and in the workplace is because of a lack of understanding of the systems of oppression that people have faced over their lives. If you were like me and you have white skin, you benefited from a system that was built from you. For me, as a woman in engineering, I was part of a system that was not built for me, right? So I experienced being marginalized and excluded and not feeling like I belonged. And so while that's given me some understanding and greater capacity to have empathy and understanding, as I'm approaching 40 tonight, I am just so grateful for the growth that I have made over the last decade to understanding constructs of race and gender and sexuality and, all of the other intersections of identity for which people have been historically marginalized and excluded and oppressed, by building a social consciousness. And again, I'm not done, right? Like, I am constantly learning and growing. I still say stupid shit that is not fully understanding of people's lived experiences. I am still unintentionally complicit and upholding systems and barriers that marginalize and exclude, but I'm working to do better, and I'm so proud of the work that I get to do through my company, Engineer Inclusion, and working with clients all over the globe to help them really build their capacity, their people's capacity to not only change individually, but to change the systems around them, right? Yes, we are 100% focused on changing systems, but we can't change systems without also changing the people that contribute to them and that build them and that uphold them. And so that's what I'm thinking about right now as I'm turning 40. I am looking forward to the Intentionally Engineer Inclusion program that I am launching this January. It's a 12-week program. So if you are interested in learning more, if you're interested in going deeper, having a better understanding of the barriers that other people face, I hope that you'll join me. I'm going to pull out all my bag of tricks and the research that I've been doing for years to help teach you and to teach everyone that's part of the peer group. But we're going to learn together because we're never done learning. And so with that, may you have an awesome Friday. And, it's Thursday, but tomorrow, I hope you have an awesome Friday. And if you think of me on my birthday, because I love birthdays, I want you to think about your own personal growth. Think about your own personal growth when it comes to social consciousness, social awareness, and the work that you've begun to do to interrogate your own identities and how you can begin to serve people around you. Thanks.